Evening. So welcome back to the channel. Out for another wild camp tonight. Staying local again, so one in the Peak District, and currently heading up to one of the edges. So just hiking up through an old oak beech woodland. It's not one that I've been in before, so probably got about 2 or 3 miles to the camping place that we've got in mind. So I'm out with my mate Chris again this evening. So quite a good evening, lovely weather, quite windy, but the plus point for that is should be no midges. So definitely in line for a sunset, I would have thought, and hopefully a sunrise as well. So it's quite windy, but that's forecast to drop overnight. It's actually going to drop quite cool for June as well, so probably about 7 degrees, but that's fine, it's not too bad. So we're going to carry on up through this woodland and then making our way up onto the edge. So we'll see how this part of the hike goes. That's the first part of the hike done, so come up through the oak and birch woodland, and we're now just heading along through sort of silver birch up onto the edge next. So we're just starting to get a few views open up as well, looking down the valley. So views of Bamford Edge and Win Hill, Stanage as well. Can't see them just now because there's no clearing in the trees, but just gone past the spot where there was. So we actually parked down in Grindleford, where I did for the last Peak District camp, just because it's a nice safe spot to park up, and always enjoy a good hike to the camp rather than, you know, parking right next to where you're gonna camp up. I always prefer to, you know, it's part of the whole experience, I guess. So I don't think there's too much further to go on this bit, and then up onto Froggart Edge. So not been on here for quite some time. Usually visit in the heather season, and I did when I was more into photography. So obviously there'll be none of the purple heather out at the moment, but I'm sure we'll find a nice spot to pitch up. So I just managed to spot this little viewpoint here. So look at that, good view down the valley. Got Win Hill up here on the left, they sort of jutted out one, and then Bamford Edge at the other side, and then over to Stanage as well. So what a view. Pretty windy though at the moment, so hopefully that drops a little bit. It's forecast to do so by the time we do pitch up, but yeah, anyway, and another cracking view down that way as well. Yeah, lovely. Up on the moorland now, and it's just having a look, see if we can find a suitable pitch. So got a couple of options potentially, but nothing that we've come across that's suitable just yet. There's a few bits, but it's just too close to the path at the moment. But what a view from up here upon Froggart Edge. Absolutely stunning view down the valley, that. And down that side down to Chatsworth House, to Beeley as well. Actually over this side we've got where I was the last time, Carl Walk, Higator area. Yeah, what a lovely evening. Kestrel just over the top hunting as well. Right, see if we can find a pitch further on. So I think we've found a suitable pitch for this evening, but it's a little bit close to the path. It is set off it, so it's one of those that I think we're just going to have to pitch up last thing really, to be honest with you. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for it to get a bit later, we've decided we're going to just cook some food. So we've got burgers tonight, so definitely looking forward to that. But what a lovely evening to be looking out onto Froggart Edge, and a view down the valley further to Win Hill, and I think that's probably Kinder Scout right in the very background. Yeah, just a shame that we can't pitch the tents yet, but anyway, we'll have some food and then hopefully it'll have quietened off. There's just a few people, just 3 or 4 that we've seen in the last 20 minutes just milling about, so it's only the right thing to just wait a bit longer, another 30-40 minutes or so, and then pitch up then. It's pretty secluded where we are anyway. I think there's a bit of tree cover and things like that, so it's not that obvious that you would be there. It'll be quite low down. It's still pretty windy actually for this evening. That is forecast to die down over the next couple of hours, so once the tents are pitched, wind's on its way out. What a lovely evening though. Anyway, carry on cooking dinner. So good. Definitely the reason why it's always good cooking a meal at camp. Alright, so we left it as late as we could. The sun has definitely just set, or at least it's dropped behind a hill so we can no longer see it, but finally set up as well. Everything's sorted. So once again, I'm in the Hilleberg Sulu, just because it's the only tent I've got at the moment. So I definitely want to invest in one for the spring and summer months. But that's a purchase still to be made. Thinking potentially the Durston X-Mid 1 at the moment, trekking pole tent. Seems pretty light and reasonable price as well. So as always, I've got the old kit, Pipe Dream 400 sleeping bag, and I've got a Trekology pillow as well. And then I'm on the Nemo Tensor sleeping mat, which is absolutely fantastic. Really good sleeping mat. Really been impressed with that one, and that pillow has been a game changer as well. So yeah, I think if I was pushing that sleeping bag, certainly in autumn and the early spring months, I'd probably want down trousers on and down booties, down jacket, that sort of thing, to push it to its limits. But as a spring and summer, it's absolutely spot on, and I suppose I could push it to 3 seasons realistically. So yeah, a lovely spot we've got. It's just sort of a sheltered area here amongst some silver birch. It was the best we could find. The others were just too close to the edge, so sunrise is 4:30, so we'll be up early anyway, and packing away before anybody gets here. But yeah, sunset was lovely, it was excellent, and the burgers were absolutely awesome, even if we did have to cook them a bit earlier and a bit before we set up the tents. It's just how it is in the Peak District. It tends to be where you just can't set up as early. It's you can't get to the remote areas quite as much as the lakes or Snowdonia, for example. Anyway, just got a few last bits and pieces to unpack, and I'm just going to enjoy the evening, and I think we probably will get a bit of colour in the sky soon. Sunset's 9:30, so it has set. It is 9:30. That was a woodcock. That was a woodcock that just went over. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I'll get these last bits set up. Frantic setting up. I forgot I'd got my pudding, so I've got a chocolate flapjack. So I'm pretty pleased about that. Completely forgot I'd got that in the bag. But yeah, the wind's calmed down as well, which is awesome, because it was getting a bit chilly, because the wind was so strong. But as soon as the sun set, it's just dropped completely. But look at that view down the valley, and Bamford Edge and Win Hill, and then Stanage at the back. That's absolutely stunning, and all the bits of cotton grass as well. It's lovely to see that. As the seasons change now that we're in summer, despite the temperatures not really feeling like it, but it's still been a lovely evening. Just to be dry is just excellent anyway. So yeah, bit of colour hitting some of these clouds as well. But the tents look pretty camouflaged in the spot we've got as well. So anyone wandering about, unlikely to see them. They're blending really well. Both green. I'm in the Hilleberg Sulu, and Chris, mate who I've come with, is in the Helm Compact 1. So yeah, all right. If any wind does come through tonight as well, but I doubt it will do. It's forecast to drop right down overnight. I don't think we'll probably get any mist in the morning, but you never know. Hopefully it'll be another lovely morning, just like the last time we were out in the Peak District. Not seeing as much wildlife, but sometimes you do get the red deer on this sort of moorland. We've got White Edge up at the back, so you do get them roaming around between White Edge and Kerber. I have seen them, and you definitely hear them in autumn when the rutting season's on as well. But what a lovely spot now that everyone's disappeared. Nice and quiet. It's quite far away from roads and stuff, so not really hearing too much road noise either. Alright guys, so pretty much going to be signing off for the night. It's about 10:30 and the wind's returned a bit again. It's not too bad, but you can definitely hear it sort of blowing about through the trees, just in a bit of a silver birch clearing, so probably sounds worse than it is. There's not too much rattling about of the tent, certainly unlike my last camp in Snowdonia where that really was gusty up on the mountain. But it's been a lovely evening. Cooking the burgers was excellent. That was awesome. Much better than just sort of a boil in a bag meal or pasta pot or something like that. Much prefer having a proper meal. And then it was a decent sunset. It was a bit of a mad rush getting everything set up last thing, but it seems to be the way in the Peak District. You can't really do it quite as early as you can in Snowdonia or the lakes, but that's fine. Sunrise is about 20 to 5 I think, so I'll have to be up pretty early. It does look like it'll be clear skies, but then clouding over early morning, maybe 6ish or something like that, so probably be up for about 4:30 and packing up and moving on, because the area no doubt will get pretty busy not too late on. So yeah, it's been a decent night, another good one in the Peak District. Cracking spots, some really excellent views, different again to what we've done before, so yeah, nice to experience something new for a change. Yes, I think that's it. I'll be signing off and I'll see you again in the morning. Morning all. Had a pretty good night's sleep, to be honest. It was pretty flat pitch that we managed to get, so I always find that makes quite a huge difference for me in terms of how you sleep. But it was a lot windier than expected, to be honest. It was only meant to be sort of 7 or 8 mile an hour overnight, but it definitely wasn't. It was a lot more than that, I'm sure. And it certainly sounds it this morning. You can sort of hear it rattling through the silver birch trees above. Whether that made it sound louder than it actually is or windier than it actually is, I'm not sure. But yeah, pretty decent night's sleep. I haven't poked my head out this morning, so I don't know if there's a sunrise yet. I think the sun is meant to be rising imminently, but it'll be a good sort of 15-20 minutes before it gets over the hillside and sort of hits where we can see it as such. So yeah, one of those mornings where, because it's so windy, you just don't want to get out your sleeping bag either. So anyway, in no rush. I don't think there'll be too many people about at this time in the morning, at sort of 4:45 on a Sunday. So yeah, I'll get a brew on soon, and then just start packing a few little bits away in the tent, the mat, the sleeping bag and stuff, but I won't be in any rush to take the tent down just yet. Hopefully we'll get a decent sunrise and we can enjoy that before hiking back down to the car. But anyway, yeah, I'll get a brew on and start packing a few bits away. Right, so I've packed a few bits away, and I've checked the forecast, and it's definitely changed. It's now saying 80 mile an hour winds with 30 mile an hour gusts, which I can definitely believe. So yeah, here's the camp, the area where we set up. It's this nice sort of pop from Silver Birch. The sun's rising up over that way. It looks a bit moody and a bit dark, and those clouds there, so not liking the look of those, but I think we'll be packed up and gone before any rain is due later on today. So yeah, just gonna enjoy the sunrise for a bit and then get a brew on and then pack the tent away. But it looks pretty moody out that way at the moment. So I just thought I'd show you this at the moment. We've got sunrise and some pretty dramatic conditions, but we've actually got some deer, some red deer I thought we might see just in the field over there. So that's pretty cool to see. But how dramatic does it look down the valley towards Bamford Edge and Win Hill, and then the Derwent Edge at the back, and then Kinder Scout as well. Yeah, fantastic. Does look a bit it does look like rain, so I'm hoping that holds off, to be honest. It's just so silent, there's nobody around at all. Yeah, so feel pretty lucky to have the Peak District as a sort of doorstep option for wild camps, as much as Snowdonia and the Lake District is absolutely incredible. It's still nice to have this as an option close to home. Right, I'll get a brew on. I think these winds seem to be dying down just a little at the moment, so maybe it's a good time to do that. So, right, get that on. All packed up. I think it goes without saying, as always, leave no trace. It's just a bit of flattened grass. So yeah, all ready to go. Sun's still out, which is nice, but it is looking a bit moody, and it does look like we could get some rain soon. So yeah, we'll crack on and get back down to the car, but hopefully we'll get some views of the edges as we're sort of hiking back as well. So yeah, excellent camp, just a bit windy, but plus points, no midges and no condensation or moisture on the tent, so that's handy to do that. It's just a bit of a faff packing up, because you have to guy it to your bag and keep it pegged down and stuff, just to make sure it doesn't blow away. But yeah, lovely spot, and ironically the sun's just disappeared behind the cloud, and that looks like it could be the last of it, so probably won't hang around too long hiking back. But yeah, anyway, we'll get going. So I just thought I'd show you this. It's actually a stone circle, and it appears on the OS maps as well. So fascinating, these sort of things in the Peak District. I know there's quite a few of them. There's quite a few famous ones, but this isn't of that nature. But yeah, don't know what it was for. It's quite interesting though. So anyway, we're pretty much off the edge, off of Froggart Edge now, and heading towards a sort of Silver Birch woodland that we came through, and then we're going to drop back down into the bigger woodland, the Oak and Beech one, which I'm sure will be quite nice this morning. It was a bit harsh with the sunlight yesterday. So anyway, right, we'll carry on to this woodland. Alright, so I think I'm going to wrap up the video about here in this lovely field of summer buttercups. So another excellent camp, it's gone really well. No issues or anything like that. I think the rain is just about to come as well, just felt a spot. So yeah, lovely walk up through this woodland, old oak and birch woodland, and then up into the silver birch as well, and then up onto the edge. And it was a great spot, really fantastic spot that we managed to find. Yeah, excellent evening, and then sunrise to boot. So yeah, I don't think there's could ask for more really. So I don't know where I'll be out next. Probably the Peak District, to be honest with you. I've got one planned in the lakes, but that's a few weeks off yet. So yeah, probably another Peak District one. I have to see what idea I can come up with for the next one. So yeah, as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and thanks for all the new followers. And comments. It's been excellent to read, so thank you for that. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Take care.